Hello Aries, thanks ever so much for watching. Sorry it's late, it hasn't been easy getting online just lately, but we seem to have the internet back. I might even try and go live a bit later, you never know. Right now though I'm asking, there's one. I'm asking for 3 cards for the sign of Aries for the full moon of May 2019, and that's a full moon in Scorpio. So 3 cards for Aries for that Scorpio full moon in May 2019, please. 3 cards, please, for Scorpio. Okay, we've got one already. Let's call that a significator. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. Okay, let's put the rest out of the way. Just for now, we'll do some more cards for clarity as we go through it. Now then, the significator that we've got here is the Page of Pentacles. This means that something's going on, something that chances to be profitable, something that chances to be very, very positive. Positive energy around, certainly. The page is a little bit young and daft and not terribly well experienced, but he is holding aloft a pentacle there, so the possibilities are almost endless, but they're looking really good. Okay, so we come into the cards, and what have we got? First card that we've got, okay, for Aries for the full moon in May 2019 is this one. It's the 4 of Pentacles, and it's the Dormouse. The Dormouse just isn't getting anywhere. There's been work going in, there's been a lot of work going in actually, but the Dormouse is just stuck there, and this is representing really a situation around you, Aries, rather than a situation that you're actually in. But it very much speaks of stuck energy. And again, like with the Page of Pentacles, great potential as well. If we could just get Mr. Dormouse unstuck from the teapot here, things would move on apace. He's almost hiding. He's not really hiding because he's come out of it, but something's hidden there. Something's not coming out the way it should. We're always dealing with fluid energy here, okay? Most certainly, that's always the case. So this would be a little bit different for any Aries who's watching. Each of these cards would mean something a little bit different, but we'll be going deeper into it and looking for more significance as we go along. There's some more cards to get involved here. Okay, second card in this spread then is the 2 of Pentacles, and although that's only half of 4, it is actually showing us some progress here. Now this card is the Mad Hatter because it's the Tarot in Wonderland deck, or as it says on my book, the Wonderland in Tarot deck. Maybe that's why it was cheap. Maybe it isn't. I don't know, because that is the madness of Wonderland. But is it really madness? That's the question. And it's one of the biggest spiritual questions there's ever been. And it perplexes a lot of us. It certainly perplexes me a great deal of the time. And that just simply is, what is real and what isn't real. Are we awake now, actually alive in the world today? And is that reality, or is reality where we go in our dreams? I strongly suggest, my friends, that it's where we go in our dreams. Okay, but that in itself is a difficult one, isn't it? Because everything about the human body kind of feels like it's alive, like it's actually functioning and operating when we're in our waking time. The spiritual life brings us closer and closer to the idea that there's things outside of this world, and that in fact this world in itself is something of a dream. And that is certainly how many of the spirit people talk about it when we read their books, when we get involved in communication that way. Anyway, the 2 of Pentacles again actually shows us a way forward, even though it's a lower number, if you like. It's a very positive number, actually. It's a no-nonsense number in so many ways, but there is a bit of nonsense going on here because the Mad Hatter can't seem to quite juggle the 2 Pentacles, or can't seem to quite hang on to the 2 Pentacles here. They're not sort of in control as they are in the Rider-Waite deck. But, if we actually brought those 2 Pentacles together, they would represent a number 8, wouldn't they? Because there's the 2 circles together. We'd get that 8 shape, and we'd be in the realms of infinity. We'd be talking about infinity. So we know that what's going on here is possibly getting a little bit in the way of that, but that infinity is what it's all about. The spiritual journey is what it's all about. And the Mad Hatter, it's his journey in life to get hold of these 2 Pentacles, bring them under his control. Okay, so bring it under your control, Aries. I'm actually, with Pentacles, I so often think about work and career and money, But this is really saying something to me about love, and it's not just relationship love, although it can be that. It's having love for the world we're in, and having love for the spirit world as well, which again requires us to kind of put ourselves between the two and work out what is real, what is the dream, which bit is which bit. Difficult to tell, but that is the spiritual journey, and that is what's going on for Aries. I see a lot of soul searching around this, okay, particularly because of the stuck energy. It's not something, it's not a time for Aries for just kind of deciding, well, I'm going to keep waiting. You may already have decided that when this card comes out, but there is progress here. There is really progress, and there is strong potential, because we're back to the significator, the Page of Pentacles there. The potential there is absolutely massive, but it needs more when we get the page. It needs something additional to it, because the page isn't fully kind of versed in what he's doing there. Okay, so what is the third card for Aries now? Let me quickly have a drink. I get ever such a dry mouth doing these sometimes, The third card for Aries, my friends, is Judgment, and it's number 20, a roundedness of numbers there, a feeling of completion coming towards us, because this card is a card we get when we move on. Its meaning has some similarities with the Death card, and it doesn't mean death, but it can very strongly, well, it does strongly indicate that big change is coming in a way that's going to make life different. So certainly that death of the old self, birth of the new is coming in here. This Judgment card judgment is a funny word. It meant something different in the days when it was originally applied to tarot cards. And it was about the judgment of God that the Christian Church talks about, where the day we pass away, we have to face God's judgment and be sent to either heaven or hell, which oh dear, the idea of hell, excuse me, the idea of hell is just completely out the window as far as I'm concerned in spiritual terms. Because we are loved. We see it again and again. We are constantly loved. And on the rabbit's trumpet here, there is actually, yes, there's a flag with a heart on it. Really, really difficult to see in my camera. I've got to work out this lighting issue somehow, guys, okay? But, it's a rabbit blowing a trumpet here. It's fertility. It really is showing a lot of positivity, a lot of really strong chances of things improving in life if we're willing to keep moving, okay? And for the moment, keeping moving, it's about getting moving in the first place. Get yourself out of the teapot here, and then get a grip, basically. I think that's a very good expression for this card, get a grip. He's trying very hard to get a grip, though, isn't he? And I feel many of you will be, Aries. But look, the pentacles right up in the healing sky there. It's a beautiful purple sky. And the clouds are a bit slanted, so, everything isn't what it seems with this card. It's always the way. Reminds me a little bit, as well, actually, of the Three of Wands, just because there are ships here and we don't know what's in the ships, what they actually contain. Are they the Hatter's ships or not? So what's coming in, Aries? Is it yours? Is it coming in for you? Or is it coming in for you to be able to go out and give something to other people? And is that how it's going to work out for you? Fluid energy, it really, really strongly depends on who you are, Aries. It really strongly does. Okay. More cards in a tick. Let me first say thank you very much to everybody who's subscribed. We're over 500 subscribers at the moment. It's like 502, so we're just hanging on there. But I'm very, very grateful, folks. It's a massive privilege to me to think that people that I didn't know are tuning in and watching again and again. We're a small channel just yet, but we're certainly growing, and it's your help that's helped me to grow. Couldn't do it without you guys, so thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's like a red rectangle down there somewhere. Okay, and if you do, you get a chance to win this at the end of May. I like to do subscriber giveaways, and everything I make is either made of wood or crystals or both. So this is a Sodalite crystal chip necklace. It has a silver-plated lobster clasp on there, loads of Tibetan silver bling, and some glass as well. There is no plastic on it whatsoever, and you can win that if you subscribe. I go through my list of subscribers, to choose the winner, and I kind of draw it by number, so it's all fair and square. But do subscribe and leave me a comment, guys, as well, please, and then you're in with a real good chance of winning. Okay, that's the non-tarot bit done, or is it? Who knows? A little bit more to drink. I'm going to ask for another card to add to each of those 3 cards, please. And I'm asking just simply for more clarity. More clarity, can we find out where we're headed with this reading for Aries on the full moon of May 2019, please? Aries on the full moon of 2019, please. And some more clarity, please, for Aries around this reading for the full moon of May 2019. Okay, so what have we got? Put them to one side a bit so I can bring them in. There we go, okay. Looking good, looking good. So first of all, 8 of Cups. Whoa, bags of potential. Okay, now this one goes with the 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, okay, because that's the main kind of card that came up. We've got stuck energy here. But here we've got the 8 of Pentacles. We've actually got that idea of the 8 of eternity, the as above, so below thing coming in very strongly here. But look, Alice can't get through the door into the house because it's piled up with these 8 cups here. Loads and loads of potential, and there's a rather nice pink pig in this. Is it a pig in a poke or is it a pig in a cup? Well, it's a pig in a cup, whatever it is, and I can't see any pokes there. But it does suggest that things might not make all that much sense to us. Sorry, might not make all that much sense to us. But the potential is vast because someone out there is being kind. Someone out there is wanting to give something. Okay, and that becomes one side of it. What you can give then makes something that is greater than the sum of the effort that's gone into it. You know what I mean? I can never remember these normal expressions that everyone uses, but you know what I mean. The sum of the parts is something. Okay, it's pretty good anyway. Right. Second card that came out there for Aries of the new moon, May 2019, the Wheel of Fortune. Now, this, in a sense, it's a lot like the 8 of Cups, loads of potential, loads of strong possibilities. And it reminds me also of the other major arcana card, which is the World. And this is the only major... No, it's not, sorry, because we've had Judgment. But this is a major arcana card. This is you, Aries. This is what's going on. And Alice is madly chasing the white rabbit there. Okay, and so it is a bit of a mad chase, I feel, actually, Aries. Because it's that stuck energy again, you know, it's these two. It's the stuck energy here, and it's the 2 of Pentacles wanting to get hold of everything. And perhaps not being aware of how well you've already grasped certain things, okay? The wheel is spinning. It looks a bit like a clock. And, of course, you know, no time in the spirit world, no time in eternity. But we are subject to time in this world, Aries. So what are you going to choose? Are you going to keep chasing your tail? Or is it worth chasing what you're chasing at the moment? Well worth thinking about. But it means things are active. Excuse me, things are going to happen. Because we've got playing cards spread out all over this image as if they're being, like, flung out. So it's kind of anything could happen. But one thing's for sure, Aries, it has started happening. It's on the production line. Okay, and the third of those cards, excuse me, and this one actually is to go with the Judgment card here. And this is the 3 of Wands. Okay, and we know this one so well, don't we, folks, from tarot. You know, it's potential again. There are 3 ships. Unlike in the Rider-Waite, the 3 ships are really kind of loud and proud and up front there, and we can see them clearly. So this is actually potential coming close to being fulfilled. But it's potential for what? Bit of a mystery there, eh? I think we need to do some more cards to find out some more. But let us now do some oracle cards, okay? Because the tarot is a very gritty energy, and it's very real and it's very true. And I find it an absolute privilege to be able to read from it. I really do. But we're all looking for a bit of love and light in this world, okay? It's a very, very hard world. And I've got to have a reason for doing these readings. There are so many tarot readers on YouTube, so many psychics, so many mediums. It's actually, they recommend when you start YouTube recommends to you that you don't do this because it's kind of flooded. But it's a calling, isn't it? And is there something there, Aries? Do you need to be answering a call and maybe thinking, well, loads of other people are answering it, I should do something more valuable? I'm asking for a card now for Aries for the full moon of May 2019 to give us some more clarity about that. And I've got 2. This is what happens, isn't it? 2 come out, so we read 2 of them. And the first one is, Okay, the first one is this: Council of Light, divine orchestration. Help us in the subtle realm. And now we actually see the journey into the light coming about and being on its way. When we focus in, when we actually concentrate on the spiritual side of things, and when we ask ourselves those questions, Aries, about is the dream world the one we've really got to follow? Is that where we really live, or do we really live in this waking world? Big question there. And just asking that question is enough to bring spiritual light around us. Okay, because when we want answers to these things, the angels are very quick to want to help, because they always want to help us make that link. It's so difficult. We agree to this life journey, this life plan, before we actually come to this world, and yet it's hidden from us all the time we're here, or most of the time we're here. But when we go into divination and work in that way, we find out so much more about it. Okay, so we have got Council of Light there, and it is talking about divine orchestration. Okay, so remember, the angels are on the case with this. The angels are our only hope in so many situations, and they're on the case with this, Aries. Okie dokie. And the other card that comes out is the Age of Light. I read this card for someone just last night, and I'm trying desperately to put the ideas out of my head that came with it last night, because this is a fresh one. Okay, and we've got a triangle here. Now the thing about a triangle is energy always gathers at the point, and this lady, this to me is showing that she's kind of, it's a spiritual practice, you know. You can't, hang on, if I do that, that's better. She's kind of doing this and reaching up to the light this way, and not just reaching for it, but praying for it as well. Okay, and there's something about that gesture, that symbology of bringing your hands together in that prayerful position. Let's just bring this. I was getting vertigo up there, right? Something about having your hands like this. It shows that you're kind of your hands for dealing with this world are kind of, you've brought them together, because what you're doing is praying. You're wanting to connect to the higher realms. You're wanting to know about things outside of this world and to link to those things in a state of love and light. So we bring our hands together, and that's what that really pose is about. It's up there again now, isn't it? But where's she gone? Oh dear, I always lose these things. There she is. Okay, this is the Age of Light. It says you've been training for this for lifetimes. So we're back onto that eternal theme again. Are we awake now, or are we awake when we're asleep in this world? Big questions, huge questions, Aries. But we travel in our dreams, great things happen. So do be aware of this. The dream life is a very strong influence in all of us, actually. Even people who don't believe in it will have a weird dream and feel weird all day. They'd feel a lot less weird if they actually sought to find out what the weird dream was about and went with it. It's something that often happens to spiritualist mediums, you know. You sort of seem to be having all these dreams about people who've died, and it's as if they're talking. And it's very, very scary until you kind of realise what it is. Any dealings with the afterlife are like that, and any dealings at all with the spiritual realms are very like that, Aries. Because that's the way we're carried, that's the way we're lifted. But the light is palpable in this. This lady is reaching for the skies, but not the sky in the picture. She's reaching for the skies within. Okay, there's some kind of horizon within all of us, and the spiritual journey, the meditation we do, everything like that, is meant to draw us further into that situation, and to make us more aware of it, to heighten our understanding of it, because, you know, we've had many lifetimes, we'll have many more lifetimes after this one. I was at a divination thing once, and a chap had those divining rods, you know, sort of hold two metal rods gently, and they cross when you've got the right answer, we all had more than 180 lives in that session that we'd lived already, and there was no suggestion that we weren't going to live more of them. So maybe that gives you a clue to the age of the planet, the age of the universe. I've got no idea, really. It's certainly not going to be giving us any real physical clues, that. But it is one of the mysteries of life, you know. God is a mystery, the divine is a mystery, the spirit realms, and where this information comes from is very much a mystery. I know my spirit guides. I have a good relationship with them. It's wonderful. Well, we've been together all my life, but I've been actively working with them and known who they were for about the last 10 years now. It's wonderful. So I'm quite happy. I'm quite grounded and contented in that knowledge. But I wish I knew more about them, you know. There's a lot that I don't know about them. And that's just the nature of this life. We only know the physical side of things here. Fact of life. Okay, Aries, well, let's bring this one to an end then. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for a chance to win. And thanks to everyone who has subscribed. Thumbs up, please, if you've enjoyed it, Aries, and everyone else who's watching. If you didn't enjoy it, you know what to do. Let me know why not. Leave me a comment, guys. We'll share the journey. I am actually able to see quite a lot of comments now. I don't think I've got all of them yet. When I looked for ones a couple of weeks ago, I couldn't find them. But YouTube has had an issue with that. They're saying they fixed it, and it looked good yesterday. I was answering comments yesterday. So leave me a comment and we'll share the journey. Meanwhile, have a great time of it, Aries. I'll be back again soon with some more readings. Peace, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.